We understood that we lost some great receivers in the years prior, and Charlie wanted the opportunity to showcase what he was about as a receiver, and obviously he's a dynamic player and has been able to show that, but I think before last year couldn't really show off all those attributes and characteristics. So I think it was just trying to convince him this was a good fit.
Jones keeps his feet. Jones to the end zone. Touchdown, Purdue.
I wasn't super recruited out of high school and kind of just was waiting to get that Power 5 offer and never did. So in that process, I ended up going to Buffalo for 2 years.
Charlie wasn't happy his first year at Buffalo, and he was homesick. He wanted to come back and, be back home, closer to home. And I told him no. I said, you can't leave. I said, do me a favor, give me 1 more year. And after that year, he said he still wanted to make the move.
I kind of always had that feeling that I could play at a Power 5 school, Big Ten school. From there, I went and put my name in the portal, and no one had a scholarship offer for me. So I decided to walk on at Iowa.
Charlie Jones back to get in at the goal line, and he'll bring it out. One of the best returners in the Big Ten. The senior's got room over the left side across the 40. Jones might go. Charlie Jones from the goal line, 100-yard touchdown return for Iowa.
I knew Iowa was a place where walk-ons got a good opportunity to come in, get good playing time, and make a name for themselves.
We got to know Charlie as a kick returner at Iowa. He was very good, very talented, had a lot of really good kick returns. Really didn't know a whole lot more beyond that.
Devin Hester was always someone that I looked up to, being a kid who was a Bears fan, and special teams is obviously really important. That was kind of the way I got my foot in the door at Iowa. But ever since, I was a kid, I always wanted to be a receiver. I wanted to take it to the next level and be an all-around player, someone who can play special teams and be that receiver as well. So that was pretty much my decision on coming here.
The decision to leave Iowa was really tough. We thought about it for a long time after spring practice, and Charlie loved his teammates in Iowa. They treated him really well, but looked at it as a job interview in the long run and thought that, being at Purdue with Aidan would be better for his NFL future, and decided that he was going to take that chance.
Charlie's done it the hard way. You got to tip your hat to someone who's willing to put in the work to get that done. Then, of course, go out and prove himself again. But from day one, he's done that, and we were just lucky that he felt as comfortable with us as he did.
As long as I've played football, there's always been certain limits that other people have put on me, which is something that I think to this day still drives me. I always want to prove that I'm capable and I can play at the highest level, regardless of my situation, no matter where I'm at. That's always kind of drove me.
Purdy back to pass, under pressure, in trouble, sacked again. Johnny Newton.
Illinois is going to go to 7-1 and firmly in control in the West.
People didn't think we were going to be here because of the past. You look at Illinois football for the past 10 to 20 years. They don't win football games. It's all, they always start off hot, but the end is always bad. Now it's Illinois versus everybody.
I looked at our schedule right when it released. I saw ourselves undefeated right now.
Down goes the cornerback, Newton the first to get to Hutchinson.
Keith and Johnny, we trust those guys. We trust them in all situations of the game.
Watching them was real disruptive. They know what's in front of them. They know how to, work their skill sets to make it work for them. They are actually leading the defense in tackles right now. You usually don't see D-line leading the team in tackles.
The thing I love about Keith, he's extremely intelligent, high football IQ, has a high level of ability.
Keith Randolph Jr., the first to get to him. Big Keith with the sack.
He was a high school athlete, basketball player and got great length, athleticism, but he's still just scratching surface of what he can be.
I wanted to go to Duke. I was watching Coach K, Jason Tatum from home. I was watching the Blue Devils play basketball all the time. I didn't watch no football. I had a coach, and he's like, man, with those shoulders and how big you are, you should have your hand in the dirt. My very first day of practice playing football, I picked up an offer. In high school, I ended up with like 30 offers.
On the flip side of it, Johnny's a very powerful, explosive athlete, and he kind of came onto the scene this year after the Indiana game. I think he had 11 pressures. Johnny was a high school running back that has obviously gained a lot of power and a lot of strength through putting on weight in his lower body especially.
I love running back. I wish I could do it now. Just a goal line formation or third and short, fourth and short. Hopefully Coach sees this and put me back there one time.
Johnny Newton got the pressure, and it's a big loss.
Honestly, I don't really look too much into the rankings of our defense or the stats or the things that we do. 2 years ago, your team is putting up 40-plus points on us. Just see the strides that we've taken. The things that we've been doing is just great.
Hey, y'all boy, all 4 quarters we on their neck like C4 say, y'all boys. Hey, family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Tiawan is big time.
Tiawan Mullen does it again.
Football All-American, academic, all Big Ten. He's got all Big Ten honors.
Indiana's going to take away. It's Tiawan Mullen.
Freshman, All-American. Those things had not been done here at Indiana in its history.
And it's picked off by Tiawan Mullen.
Nice shot.
He has great football DNA. He comes from a football family. He understands the game.
I have 3 brothers. Nathaniel, my oldest brother, played semi-pro. Then Trayvon, he went off to Clemson, won 2 national championships, ended up at the Raiders.
That ball was picked off. Trayvon Mullen.
Current team, Arizona Cardinals. My cousin Lamar won Heisman, and he with the Baltimore Ravens. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The condition was rough. Looking for like the next meal here and there. Grew up in the hood. Some probably call it ghetto. Football meant a lot because it kept kids out of trouble. Kept kids doing something positive. My 2 oldest brothers, Nathaniel and Trayvon, they took the right path to go play football and not follow the wrong crowd, do the wrong things. I thank those guys for being a positive role model. I think I received my first offer my sophomore year. Then everything just kept on rolling. And I had to work my way up to be an All-American.
I gave 3 numbers. I think I mentioned it at one of our Big Ten Media Days when I first got the head job, which was 50, 26, 10. 50 years since we won the Big Ten, 26 years since we won a bowl game, and 10 years since we had a winning season when I took over as head coach.
When I heard those numbers, I was like at home. I knew I was coming to Indiana because I know change is going to happen here. I'm not a follower to go take an easy way out. I like the hard way. I wanted to make this change. I wanted to be a change. I wanted to leave a stamp.
On his official visit, we were in my office and he asked me for a piece of paper, 50, 26, 10. And so he wrote those 3 numbers on that piece of paper, circled each one of them, and proceeded to tell me, he said, Coach, he said, we're going to accomplish all 3 of these things when I come here. And he signed it and dated it, and I hung it behind my desk, and it sits there to this day. In his first year here, we were able to accomplish one of those.
And Indiana has won the All-American bucket. 8 wins, a winning conference record for the first time since '93.
And there's no question that he's taken our program to levels that we hadn't been here in 50 years. It's awesome to see him put actions to his words and to what he wrote on that piece of paper. Last year was very difficult, and we had such high expectations for Tiawan. And then the injuries started coming, and things just kind of went in the wrong direction. He could have left early, but he didn't want it to finish like that. He didn't want it to end that way. You know, he came here to create change and wanted to see it through.
With the NFL, you know, I thought about it. The other school trying to scoop me. That was already a no-go because I'm a lawyer dude. And also my little brother's coming. Terrell just put the cherry on top. Man, stop playing. I love that kid. I want very tight. Like the best duo on campus. Anybody on campus have a sibling, we the best duo. Mario and Luigi, Batman and Robin, like 1 and 2. Like
one.
Yeah. I'm thinking 1, he thinking 2. But if it was out of Mario and Luigi, I'd be Mario and he'd be Luigi.
Man, when I first came here, like, everybody was like, you Tiawan, little brother? I'm like, yeah. Every time they see me, they asking about him. And that motivate me. I want people to ask about me.
I'm gonna run out with my little brother for the first time. Brotherly love. It's deep behind the camera, man. He 4 out of the 4. I'm 3 out of the 4. So I love my little brother, man. I love you. Love you too, man. Special moment for me.
Great thing about having a big brother is, number one, your big brother's gonna be truthful to you. And when he's not prepared as maybe as he should be sometimes, or he's not ready, that's where you have a big brother say, hey, let me show you how to write these notes.
How to pay attention, how to take mental reps when you're not in the game, when you're in practice, learning the signals, just being on time to meetings, being respectful to people, to trainers, to the equipment guys.
Tiawan be on me heavy, you know, he called me, what you doing? I'm like, man, I'm just chilling, watching my favorite show right now. He be like, hey, do some push-ups right now. And I'm like, man, I just came from working out. But he'll just be like, do some push-ups, stay in your playbook.
When the torch is ready for Terrell, he'll be ready. But right now, it's just Terrell still learning. You have a lot of work to do, but his career is gonna be better than my career at Indiana.
Take a step in the ground. Here we go, here we go. Eye level punch. Rip it through the finish. There. Extension is not enough.
When you come into a new program, you're getting hit with 118 new personalities. And I distinctly remember the first conversations with Johnny Newton. I distinctly remember my first conversation with Keith Randolph. 2 different type of people. Keith has got a personality and a half, and he kind of draws it out of Johnny, to be quite honest.
That's my glove. I ain't got my catch.
Reunited.
To me, he kind of loud, kind of outgoing, but in a calm, funny kind of way. Like, he don't mind speaking up, don't mind making a joke.
A man's at an ATM, standing on one leg. I come up to him, I'm, yo, man, what are you doing? He said, I'm checking my balance.
Johnny is a little bit more laid back than Keith is. Individually, you may not see them as, you know, the pieces that they are together, but they kind of like make a good team, actually.
Step up some more line, step up some more line, set.
As they began to play really well, I said to Coach Jameson, our defensive line coach, it's like a law firm of Newton and Randolph, and it just clicked in my mind.
Now a little flip to report it, and that went nowhere. Read perfectly once again by Johnny Newton.
One half of the law firm, Johnny Newton.
And then I dropped it on a Monday press conference to our media. The law firm of Newton and Randolph. Those guys, the way they played inside was just incredible with their extension, their hands.
Newton and Randolph sounds better, but Randolph and Newton, Newton and Randolph, whichever one you prefer that day, that's what we'll go by. There's no beef between that.
We've played some teams, and they say, hey, y'all a law firm, right? We're like, oh, what the? We go on the sideline, bro, they know us, bro. They know us. They know our nickname.
We have an NIL deal with this law firm, Harrington Law. We just created shirts, law firm shirts. It's for a great cause for the Boys and Girls Club here, so we took pride in that name because, like he said, If you need us, we're there for you. We're dependable, so I love that nickname.
Tracy in motion. O'Connell with time. Touchdown, Purdue! Chuck Sizzle.
Chuck Sizzle is a great football player, great friend, a guy who I grew up with and obviously know well. This guy.
Chuck Sizzle. Charlie Jones, what a night!
When I first heard of that, I didn't know what I thought about it. A lot of the guys here, a lot of my friends now call me it all the time. It's growing on me for sure.
All right, Chuck, don't drop it, buddy. Chuck Sizz, good old days. What's Bill's football field called? Emmerich Park?
Emmerich Park.
Emmerich Park back
nachos, nachos, and Coke after every game.
I don't remember when we first officially met. I feel like talking about my wife or something like that. But I remember my family still calls Chuck Sticky Hands.
Jones has it bop around. I think he made an incredible catch.
I didn't know that was the nickname.
Did you used to not wear gloves?
Yeah, I used to not wear gloves until I dropped one ball. Then I started wearing them.
I used to be a lot more confident in his hands. But
I got soft. I got cold.
Got cold. Dropped a couple.
Donald pressure throws and finding a spot at the 25-yard line is Charlie Jones.
When all else fails, go to your childhood friend.
Charlie happened to be, if not the fastest kid in the league we were playing in, one of them. So the strategy wasn't too complicated. It was Charlie, run as fast as you can, Aidan, throw as far as you can. And more often than not, they'd make a nice connection.
Aidan threw at the age of 8 through a 25 to 30-yard spiral to Charlie. Actually, Charlie got caught from behind, so a few plays later, Aidan threw a fade to the end zone to Charlie, and they scored their winning touchdown on that play. When they were younger, you could see that they both had a special talent, and the fact that they came back together after all these years really makes it enjoyable.
My dad has always thought Aidan was the best quarterback he's ever seen ever since we were kids. He calls him AJ. I don't think anyone anywhere else calls him AJ.
It was CJ and AJ, and it was actually coined by one of the baseball coaches they played for. And the connection that was not only in baseball, but in football as well.
It's been a blast. Obviously, I came here because I wanted to be more of an offensive guy, not just a special teams guy. And to do that with someone that you grew up with, just a lot of fun. We still kind of feel like we're kind of those kids back on our little league team, just making plays and just enjoying the moment.
The Journey Big Ten Football 2022 is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Today is Senior Day, Big Ten football here at the Memorial Stadium.
An opportunity to win the Big Ten West looming large.
Fast, violent, physical, every snap, dog. Every snap. I want the ball.
Illinois has not beaten Purdue at home since 2010. It's a very exciting day to break a drought.
Bryant and Williams to the near side. Isaiah goes in motion. Snap back. DeVito gives to Chase around the left side. 20, 15 to the 10. Illini knocking on the door. Second goal at the Purdue 2. Hand off to Chase Brown. Touchdown. And the jump in front of the Boilermakers.
The quick start the Illini got off to has dissipated here, and Purdue seems to have the momentum at this point.
This is where you got to dig down, folks. The Big Ten West title. You want it, you got to get it. Chase puts his foot down. He's in! Touchdown! Lifted his leg up, the little Heisman pose.
The Illini will get the ball to start the second half, so it's really important for Purdue here to see if they can get this game even going into the locker room. Aidan looking, throws again to the end zone. That pass is caught for a touchdown. Charlie Jones and the Boilermakers score late here in the first half.
Let's go! That is a big momentum changer, my friend.
14 all, 7:06 to go in the third. Third and goal, Purdue at the Illinois 5.
Aidan looking, has all sorts of time, rolls out to his left, throws to the end zone. Pass is caught, touchdown, Payne Durham. Durham on the sideline with a leaping catch, and the Boilermakers take the lead.
Got check time here. They've got to punch this in. Getting late in the third with 4 minutes to go, down 7. DeVito looking left, looking to the end zone. Got a man caught. Touchdown, Illinois. Yes. Hightower with the touchdown. 21 all now as Illinois has caught the Boilermakers.
Illinois has 0 sacks against the Boilers today.
You're the top defense in the country. Show it.
Yep, we'll see it. O'Connell back to pass, being chased, running right, chasing him big time and running him out of bounds as he gets hit late. Johnny gets hit with a flag. Penalties here hurt.
You wind up with giving Purdue 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. It's just bad football.
O'Connell throws to the far sideline. That pass is incomplete, and there's another flag, another pass interference call.
So the flags are dropping all over the place. Boy, the #1 defense needs to respond.
Yes.
O'Connell, they bring a blitz. There's a pass caught. Payne Durham dragging a tackler. Touchdown, Boilermakers.
We talked about who's going to be the other receiver to make big plays other than Charlie Jones. Payne Durham is that guy.
They got to respond. Illinois offensively has to respond. The Purdue defense, they've really just taken it to Illinois.
Here come the Boilermakers on a blitz. And they get away from it. DeVito's under pressure, and he's back! They got him all the way back at the 27.
Now the offense has got to do it.
Boilermakers moving around defensively on this 3rd and 5 play. DeVito back. Tipped and intercepted. Kieran Douglas with the pick. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Douglas comes up with a huge interception.
Here we go. Congrats, coach. It's big, man.